Okay, lesson 9, homework. We're just going to go over it and check to make sure you've solved it correctly. I don't know if, you can change how you've solved it. You could even write on a separate sheet the right way to solve it, because I don't know if you've noticed, but your STAR math test and now even your assessments are mostly word problems, so you really need to pay attention on how to solve different problems. So it says Jeffrey bought 203 sheets of stickers. Each sheet has a dozen stickers. So we know that Jeffrey bought, that's not what I want. Jeffrey bought how many sheets of stickers? 203 sheets. And how many stickers are on each sheet? Car? A dozen. What's a dozen mean? How much is in a dozen? Look, 12. So on each sheet there's, I might make a shape. A dozen stickers. So he has a dozen stickers on each sheet. And how many sheets did he buy?
920.
Well, how many sheets did he first buy? How many sheets did he buy? 203. So how are we going to figure this out? Nathan?
You're going to do 203 times 12, which should get 2,436. And 2,436 minus 907, which should get the answer.
Okay, good. So you take 12 times 203. That's how many total stickers he has, 2,436, but then he decides to be kind and give how many away? Jaden? 907. So he has 2,436 total. And he's giving this many away, so this is how many he's losing. The question is, how many stickers does Jeffrey have remaining? Eyeballs up here. So how would I write the answer to that? Morgan?
You write the answer like he has 1,529
I always circle my answer just because sometimes when I had an old teacher or something and I knew that her eyes were getting old, that it's a lot easier to find your answer if you circle it. So that's kind of a hint to you people. I may have old eyes, so, circle your answer so I know, where it is.
I never got my sheet and noted on the bottom.
No, I just went through in my head because I'm trying to get all these solved so I can do 10. I don't know where your sheet is. Did you turn it in? Then it's where you turned it in, I guess. Go look in the no names, maybe. Yes, ma'am. Right there. Flip it over. There you go. Oh, I don't know where it is. In your binder? I didn't know what to tell you. Because I haven't taken them out. So, that's all I have. So, I guess it must be in your... Oh, that's what you turned in?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. You know, I should have gotten a psychic degree because, like, half of the class wants me to guess their name on their paper. I'm doing good to know all your names right now. Not your handwriting, too. Okay, so you have that written down, right? Question number 2. During the 2011 season, a quarterback passed for 302 yards per game. He played in all 16 regular season games that year. How many total yards did the quarterback pass for? How'd you solve it? Grace, what'd you do? So 302 times 16, and the answer was 4,832. What do I need to do? Whoop, not out space. Now I'm pulling a student move here. Okay, abbreviation for yards is YDS. YDS. So if he matches this number, we're on part B now. If he matches that number for the next 13 season, how many yards will he pass for in his whole career? How'd you solve that one, Camden? Okay, so now we're taking how many he passes for in one season, and then now we're going to do it for his whole career, times 13. And the answer you should have arrived at is so the way you would write that out is in his whole career he would pass for 62,816 yards. Number 3 is the one I got the most questions on. It says Bao saved $179 a month. He saved $145 less than Ada each month. So we have two people, right? We have Ada and we have Bao. So this is Bao. And the next one's going to be Ada. Did Bao save more or less than Ada? Did he save more or did he save less than Ada, Brianna?
He saved 145 less.
He saved less. So whose bar is going to be longer? Ada's bar is going to be longer. Does it matter how long we make it? No, it doesn't matter. We just need to know that how long it is. Now, how much is Valspar worth? Morgan?
Okay, it's $179.
Okay, so this whole thing is $179. Well, if we look at it, we know that Ada also saved at least $175, didn't she? Or $179? So can't we just draw a line right here? Right? Can we do that? Because we know that Ada saved the same amount he did, but more. So how much is his bar worth that we're going to write on Ada's first place? Okay, so we know this one's worth $179. But they also told us what the other part is, because it says he saved $145 less than Ada each month. So what's the part that he hasn't saved? He hasn't saved this much right here. So how much is that worth? So it says, how much would Ada save in 3.5 years? Well, we need to find out, first of all, how much Ada saved a month. So how are we going to figure out how much she saved a month? Connor?
Well, we have 145 plus 179.
Okay, so we're going to take Ada's bar, add it together. 145 plus 179. Who has that answer? Nathan?
324.
Okay, so Ada saved $324 a month. 3.5 years. How do I know how many months are in 3.5 years? Luke. 12 months are in 3.5 years?
No.
12 months are in
12 months are in 1 year.
1 year. There you go. 12 months are in 1 year. So we can ask ourselves how many months are in 1 year.
And it equals 6.
There's 12 months in 1 year, right? But we have 3.5 years. Well, I don't want to mess with the half part yet. $12 times 3, right? Because I have 12 months in 1 year, and I have 3 years. So what's 12 times 3? 36. But I have to earn my half. What's half of 12? If you can't remember what half is, you could do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you want to say you have the same amount of dots on both sides? So you could do it that way to find out what halfway is. So how many months do I have? Or how many months do I have in half a year? 6. So what do I do with that 6? Multiply it times the 36? What do I do? Do you know? What do you think? Add it. What's 36 plus 6? 42. Does that answer our original question? Yep. Now we go back to the question. How much would Ada save in 3.5 years? So we know that this is how much she saves in a month. This is how many months are in 3.5 years. So what do I need to do to take care of that problem? Alexis?
We take 324 times 42.
And what did that equal?
13,608.
So how would I answer the question then? How would I answer that, Tariana?
You answer by
Ada saved.
Ada saved $13,608 in 3.5 years.
There you go. Perfect. Ada saved. We'll save whatever. $13,608 in 3.5 years. And this next one kind of got people off a little bit. Number 5. Now, when I look at number 5, almost every question there is dealing with area. And we said area is length times width. And on one side, we have FIFA regulations in yards, and on the right side, we have New York State high schools in yards. Someone was asking why it's New York State. Well, because our curriculum is Engage New York, so they might be a little partial. I mean, I thought Kansas was the best state, but it's not. It says write an expression. What's an expression? What's an expression? Nathan, you know what an expression is?
It's like, how you get the problem.
Yeah, it's like writing out the problem. Write an expression to find the difference in the maximum area and the minimum area of New York State high school soccer field. Then evaluate your expression. So we need to find the maximum area of New York State high school. Are we going to look at the minimum length and the minimum width? No, because you want to find the maximum. So, New York State, this is the max. Oh, hello. This is the maximum. And this represents New York State, right? So, if area is length times width, what number am I going to use for the length? New York State High School, maximum length. Caden? 100. Okay, good. So I'm going to use 120 as my maximum length. And my maximum width? Camden? 80. So are the football fields allowed to be any bigger than this? No, they can't be any bigger. So how do I find the area of that? 80 times 120? What's the answer? Do you have the answer? 9,600? This is in yards. And when you do area, it would look like this. Squared. Says the difference between the maximum and the minimum. Well, now we got to do it all over again and do minimum this time. We'll make it smaller. What's our minimum length? Minimum length is 100. Minimum width? 55.
Minimum width is 100.
Well, that's on the FIFA regulations, but we're going to stay under the New York State High School. You will have to do the FIFA in a minute. So 55 times 100, we know that when you multiply by 100, remember you move the decimal how many places? 2 places to the And that's 5,500 yards squared. So now what do we do with that information? What does the word problem tell us to do? Luke? You subtract them because you're finding the difference. So you're going to do 9,600 minus. Did I just write an expression? Yes. Now I'm going to evaluate it. When I evaluate it, I solve it. What's the answer? Brianna? 30,500. Let's try it again. I know why your answer is different. Because you use the FIFA one on that one. And that chart gets confusing. It confused a lot of people.
Yeah, I got confused on, so 120 times 80 is 9,600, and then what do? We do, because I thought we did 80 times 55.
Hmm?
Okay,
I think, okay. So what is my answer then? How would I write that out, Camden? Don't forget your square. Otherwise, you will get it wrong. You'll probably see something just like that on state assessments, on Star Math, where they'll give you an option of 4,100 yards, and they'll give you an option of 4,100 yards squared. If it's area, it's squared. And this whole time I've been calling it, I think, football field. It says right there, soccer field. Mhm.
How in real life, why is the field not different in the New York State high schools? Wouldn't they all be the same? Because I'm kind of seeing if they're going for something worse than too. Maybe we kind of get very close.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't say the
It's hard to
playing
tell.
field,
Mhm.
that's the whole field,
Area.
the area of the whole field, not just where they play. So they're not saying then where they play is different, they're saying the whole field doesn't mean that.
Which I could see New York State setting limits. They're pretty crowded up there. I think, isn't it, you said FIFA, that's professional? So they try to keep it as close to professional maybe as they can, professional size, so that when their kids graduate, they're pretty close to professional anyways, that way? I don't know. Okay, and B, would a field with the width of 75 yards and an area of 7,000 square yards be within, how you just say FIFA or do you say FIFA? FIFA regulations. I guess I need to go to KC Sporting or something. Be within FIFA regulations, why or why not? This threw some people off too. So what do we know about this already? What do we know about it? What do we already know? Chance? What do we know? What do you think?
That the width is 75 yards and the area is 7,000 height.
Well, they were pretty nice to you. They didn't make you divide it out because I see the number 75 in there, so what can I do that? How can I solve to find the other side?
Times it by 100.
Okay. So that must mean this side's 100. Is it within regulation? So let's look at this. What's the maximum length? What's my maximum length on the FIFA? Yep, 120 for my maximum length. Let me get a completely different color here. And what's my maximum width? 80. So that means it can't go longer than these, right? Is 100 greater than 120? No. Is 75 greater than 80? So is it past the maximum that it could be? No. So let's look at minimum. What's my minimum length? Connor?
Minimum length is 110.
Whoop, I'm going the wrong place here. Okay, so minimum is 110. That's not going to show up on there. And my minimum width? Nathan? Does 100 fit between 110 and 120? So I can go 110, 100, 120. Does that fit? No. Does 75 fit between 70 and 80? Uh-huh. But would it be regulation size? Would it be? What do you think?
No, because it's under the minimum set. So once you're born, that's under
Yep, this is the smallest it can be right here. Oops. Well, I'm just doing all kinds of things today. 7,700 square yards. And what's the area of ours? 7,500. Doesn't work, does it? So, Grace just explained why or why not. On C, that was a bonus one. If you did C, I'll have you turn that in later, and I'll check it for bonus points. And then we'll go over it Monday. Lesson 10. May I stop this?